Friends of the Fine Tarts, welcome. Welcome again. I'm not done with the day. Or the day is not done with me. What key we in? Checks out. Alrighty. Hmm. Okay, okay. Enough noodly noodly. Let's see what we can do with this. Let's put this where it belongs. And now first violins. Hold up. Is the American anthem in G? Let's say, wait a second. So dramatic. Let me try a different expression. Let's try tremolo. I don't think so. But anyway. No, that's not right. It's just not right. No. We stay on the long. I lost my mind long time ago. Yeah, these instruments or sections are not talking to one another. I should have sticked with a very short theme, so I know what's going to happen. I'm as clueless as you. And that model wheel does what it wants to. But I like the beginning of this. Da dee da. Uh-oh. What's my last note? I think that's the one. Nope. Okay. Interesting. C sharp is my last note. Who would have known? I think I want to play something different. But why? Just stay with it a little bit. Maybe I think I need to do this a different way, but maybe not today. But I should maybe start with the piano and then just use the piano for writing, and then I will distribute whatever the hell I'm doing with the piano and try to actually orchestrate that for real. Uh-oh, that took a long time. I think that's making more sense. Let's start with piano. And then I try to distribute whatever I'm doing on the piano to an orchestra. That's weird. No, I don't think so. Uh, 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 uh. Yeah, I think that's the better way to do it. To start on piano and then just record whatever. Because on the piano, it doesn't really matter how many notes you play on principle. But if you play orchestral patches, oh boy, does it matter. I think I need to move up register. I'm absolutely in love with the motive the summer knows from Summer of 42. It's just too beautiful. Need to move up. Absolutely not. Okay, anyway, let's try to get back to this little thing, whatever that was. I think we can delete this meeting. You shouldn't have started this. It's way too random. Yeah, I should actually really probably just find a section of that little motive that the oboe does. And I need to find out how to pronunciate it right in English. I'm not sure if it's oboe or oboe. But I like this little thing. I think we all heard it somewhere. I can't say where from, but this is a very basic melody, I think. Yeah, I don't believe this is what does this patch say? Oboe. Come on. Solo. I'm not quite sure how many there would be actually in an orchestra. Maybe one, maybe two. But I cannot really join this oboe, whatever it does. With the strings. I thought I could. Okay, I'm bored. Let's do something else. Sorry, it didn't take long. I said music, games, and whatever I damn please. So, let's do something else. Still music for a little bit. But probably cannot really do anything too much right now. Oh god, I shouldn't have looked. It's already 3 a.m. I live a weird life. And then I should know. How did I forget? Am I stupid or something? Oh god. Yeah, I know why I need to practice. Okay, wrong register. How would I not remember? It's super simple. C, G augmented, C minor 7. Oh, I need an F chord, I see. F minor, C minor, D, G dominant. Okay, let's try this from here. Do, be, do, do, huh. No, that's not right. Oh, I forgot the G chord. My bad. I know it now. Kind of. would I do that with my... Did you ever know that the left and the right hand are not actually created equal? Also, all these keys are not created equal. I'm trying to think about what kind of fingering I would be using for a G dominant flat 9 with my right hand, and I have no answer to that. With my left I can do it, but with my right I think I can't. Is the note stuck or something? No, that's the wrong chord. Plain simple. I need to play this. Uh-oh. Ugh. That is kind of acrobatic for my hand size. That's not pretty. Probably I wouldn't even do that on strings anyway. On the piano, yeah, sure. Anyway, I talk too much. No. That's wrong, and no double tracking. Do I even have a key here? No. I mean, the key is there, but there is no voice. Anyway. No. Why am I stuck? Seriously. How often did I play this now? Too often, huh? No, no, no. Hello, probes. How's it going? Ugh. No, this note, not. There are many notes to play. This wasn't one of them. Ay, ay, ay. Fingers crossed. I'm glad to hear, man. Why am I stuck again? Seriously, this can't be. What? Sorry. Okay, enough noodling. I know. Yeah, we did not quite invent this. That's the Chimichurri song from Mary Poppins. It's super nice, super beautiful. I've loved the song forever. I started playing it 3 or 4 days ago, and I think I did link you also the notes. And the thing really is, Sherman and Sherman were two brothers who killed scoring and songwriting for probably good amount of time, and exactly, and they kind of really killed Hollywood for a long time. They kind of owned it, I think. They won left and right, everything. And if we look at the song, what is happening to it? Or what is happening speaking music theory? Okay, let's take a piano, sorry. What's happening music theory-wise? It is a chromatic walk down in C minor. It goes dee da da ba dee do da. That's it. It's simple, but it's powerful. Yeah, we did. But I was looking just at the voice leading of this. At first, it was not super apparent. I was just looking for good voicings that I can play kind of consistently because it's in 3/4 and I have the rhythmical sense of a tomato. So I had to make sure I find some voicings that are easy to play so I can maybe play my right hand anytime soon. For now, it's mostly just left hand. I can pretty much mirror hands at this point. I will have to. But I mean, let's look at this again. How does this all start? It starts, okay, the first two bars we can maybe disregard. Starts C minor, G dominant, flat 9, A half diminished, G7 over B, and now it actually starts. And it's really, if we just look at the melody, it is a chromatic walk down. C minor, going to G augmented, This is G augmented. We just inverted it. If we move this down, no, it's augmented, or it's called like on the score, but didn't change at all. So again, if we just play the top melody as an octave, 1, 2, 3, 4, holy Christ, how simple is that? And how smart and how beautiful. You cannot make voice leading any smoother than going chromatically, at least not in 12-tone music. It just sneaks up one half step at a time. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiree. Hey, sweep is as lucky can be. It's so good, seriously. Yeah, it's but it takes some true masters to pull this off. I mean, while simplicity is beauty, you also have to know what you can omit to make the simple stuff work. Yeah, I know. They really wrote that piece smooth like butter. It's easy on the hands, it's easy on the ears. Okay, let's put this back to first violins. And let's see if we can do something with the oboe. Or oboe. I don't know how to pronunciate it in English. I don't know if it's oboe. Oboe. Anyway, doesn't matter. It does not matter. Chimichurri song. Chimichurri. Just for the kicks of naming things weirdly. If you're not familiar or not a super foodie, chimichurri is a very delicious condiment. Okay, I have no more notes. What is my key range? It is B flat to what? It's B flat to B flat. Just 2 octaves. I'm sad. I wish I had more. Okay. What am I gonna do next? I have no idea. I've been doing the chimichurri song for too long. Well, 3 days now. But earlier I had the urge. Oh god, I'm getting tired. Actually, that's a good thing, but I don't want to stop. Can't stop, won't stop, should stop, nevertheless. It's so odd. Sounds like a coffee commercial. Ooh, that reminds me of something. I know what that is. Da-di-da, da-di-da, da-di-da. I think I cannot exactly say what piece, but I know I've heard that, and yeah, anyway, doesn't matter. But that other part, that oh, I need to find better fingering for that. Oh, switch key. Hard change. Anyway. Yeah, maybe I need to lay low on these keys. Oh no, that's not right. I think kind of like that. I need to focus on articulation, but should actually change to my real weighted keys, but they are even more loud than these. What am I playing here? Play something in G. Shit. Okay. Well, what am I gonna do? I don't know. But maybe it's enough of this. Maybe I shouldn't cut the mic while talking. That's not smart. Chimichurri song. Chimichurri song is great. Oh. Go back to... I'm sorry. Go back to the first violins. Okay, enough of this silliness. Let's give this a real name. Chim chim cherry, chim chim cherry. How is it actually spelled? Let me check. No name to butcher someone's name. Chim chim cherry. Mon chéri. Chim chim cherry. Seems to be... Is it a question? Yeah, it's a question. I would say I'm not the authority to speak on that, but it is to some extent rather uncommon. If there is a piano with an orchestra, It might have a solo here and there, but more often than not, it takes a backseat for the most part, if it ever actually plays or if a piece is written for an orchestra with a piano. Yeah, there are some classical pieces where you have a full symphony orchestra and piano, but I believe, I might be absolutely wrong, but I think a majority of pieces are more like in the either or category. It is not happening that often. If then they are kind of like having more kind of a call and respond thing, because like an orchestra is super fucking loud and it covers everything. The problem with the piano is the piano also kind of, it does not exactly fit in one range. What would you write for the piano if you have a full symphony orchestra? A piano kind of is redundant in the context of a whole symphony orchestra because they already are covering that range. I mean, I was amused to find out, like, I'm a self-taught jazz pianist. I don't know too much. Like, let's say, or let's consider, because I'm really not an authority on this at all, but let's say a symphony orchestra. There's different kinds of categories on how big they are. Let's say you have maybe chamber music. That is a few musicians, often maybe it's a quartet, maybe you have strings, but it's not like, I don't know, like this is kind of a typical orchestral symphony orchestra. I was amused when I was becoming more interested. Not that I don't like classical music, but I never really thought about it and I did not do my research. But I found out quickly why an orchestra sounds so overwhelmingly, humongously amazing wall of sound ish. Not ish. It is the hugest wall of sound you could imagine. For the longest part of my life, I thought the first violin was one very talented player. Boy, oh boy, did my jaw drop when I learned that typically the first violin is this green section and it will consist out of 16 players. That is 16 violins. That is just the first violin section. Then you have second violins. As if 16 violins are not enough, then you have another sections of violins, the second violins. And typically, if you have a count of 16 in the first, then usually for the string family, that is violins, violas, cellos, and double bass, usually sometimes in the context of a jazz big band, you have them, but it's also not all that common. For a jazz big band, which is kind of a mixture, it's kind of like a small-sized orchestra, but not like really like let's take this as just a basic example of a symphony orchestra, okay? The whole violin family is violins, violas, a little bit bigger. Then we have cello, a little bit bigger. And then we have double bass. Typically, you have 16 first violins. In a smaller ensemble, maybe 14 or maybe 12. And as a rule of thumb, you can imagine that every following section of strings has -2 players. So if first violins would be 16 players, then violin 2 or second violins would be 14 and violas would be 12 and cello would be 10 and okay, with basses it seems to vary, I believe, but also take everything I say with a grain of salt. I'm not a conductor or anything. Oh, yes, you can. You want to find out quick? I'm pretty sure you can. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Hold on. I got lost. Okay, this is cello, right? Cello have a pretty big range also. Where does it start? What's my first note? It is what? A C what? I mean, they all are one to some extent. Say they do overlap on their extremes, but they all shine in certain ranges. While the cello is certainly a big string instrument and it can also blend very well with bass, it also does play much higher than bass. They all have their sweet spot, so to speak. I consider them all a continuum. So this is cello, right? That's the lowest note on the cello. Let's go to basses. Let's play the lowest note there. That's not even the lowest note. You know what I mean? Okay, you would never play a chord like that. It is muscle memory. The basses would never play a chord like that. There. I don't think so. Let's take spizzicato or pizzicato. But that is not the best example. Let's say they are bowed and not... well, still, really. That's my last note on bass. You can't really see, right? Hold up. Let's make it like so. I tell you, you can't tell the difference. That's the basis. Let's go back to cello. What's the lowest note again? I'm quite sure you can tell the difference between cello and bass. Well, if the cellos play their lowest note and the basses play higher register, maybe it's not that easy to distinguish. And also, the orchestra is one to some extent, or not to some extent. That's what makes it so amazing. It all blends and wiggles and like it's crazy. can go back to basses. And it will sound even probably kind of weird trying to do that with basses. They don't move like that. What's my... But string section excel at playing what is also called a pedal, which is just a long held note. Very often you hear strings just doing stuff like that. Okay, I'm not doubling anymore. Out of key range. Even more dramatic with tremolo. Ouch, that's loud, sorry. I forgot what this was. That was first violins, right? I think so. Was this all first violins? I think so, right? I mean, I could watch this. This is why I need to name everything. I forget. I don't forget what I played, but I forget what instruments I used. MIDI just looks the same. I think it was first violins. Let's just call it first violins, I suppose. Ooh, wrong articulation. Yes, it was first violins, but it was not on tram. Also, did this go back? Huh. Okay. No, it's not doing that thing. Sorry, kind of talking to myself. Some MIDI issues. Okay. That's better. Oh, I see why that happened. Okay, I remember now. When I change instruments, the expression goes back to 100. And it's not supposed... I mean, I don't want this to be at 100. It's just too loud. All right. What am I gonna do? Probably should take a break, and I should also go to bed, but I kind of messed up my schedule big time. I think I went to bed last night at 7 a.m. in the morning, like Count Dracula or something. That was not smart. And so many melodies, they all go circle of fifths or fours. It's so interesting, really. So many melodies all move the same. Do, be, do, be, do, be, do. While it's not always necessarily going a perfect fourths or perfect fifths, it will be generic fourths and generic fifths. And our scenario would be not quite. Okay, we could look at different scales. Then it would be what? Or we could think maybe then we have a little bit more options. I did that already. What's up with my brain? Well, I gotta take a break. I will decide when I come back in 3 to 5 minutes if I continue these shenanigans or if I cut the stream. I can't decide quite yet. But while I'm gone, why don't I just leave you with these noodles? No, that's not what I meant. It was strings. Not really. I always do the same, pretty much. I said I gotta take a little break. I don't know what's the last thing that we talked about. I did go through various voices of the string family, trying to show the difference. I'm not quite sure if you caught that. Hold up a second. I need to add this. Add label to clips. Paste. Okay, so I don't forget. This is first violence. I mean, I probably could remember. Okay, let's do this quick because I needed to take a break, and then I need to decide if I'm going to turn this night into a day again or if I'm trying to be somewhat responsible, but I highly doubt it. So let's go back to cello. Let's take the lowest note of the cello. I was saying that I consider the string family a continuum. Every instrument, depending on size, has a certain range where it does shine most, but say on the higher registers of the bass, it will blend with the cello, and on the higher register of the cello, it will blend with the violas or with the violins and vice versa. They meet and they entangle and they are one. Yes, let's play the lowest note of a cello and then let's play the lowest note of a bass. Then the difference becomes very obvious. So again, this is cello. That's my last note on cello. Let's go to basses. Now I'm gonna shut up, then we can hear it better, but it's very obvious. I'm gonna play an octave of the bass now. That sounds like Mordor is calling. Mordor. Cello again. Now basses again. I think it is noticeable. You'd have to be really, really tone deaf to not hear it. I took you saying that you are tone deaf more as a comedic way. Well, it does not play alone. Many things also, I cannot speak about how great all of these samples are. Imagine a real bass or a bass section. This is just an approximation. This is just a virtual instrument. And it is a free library. It's not even like a pro library. How many samples can be in there? And the thing about it sounding ugly or not, these instruments are not playing solo for the majority of time. I believe there's probably not a lot of orchestral music where the basses do play a solo ever. I think it is very hard to find. You will find violins playing solos. You will find woodwind playing solos. Maybe clarinet, maybe a bassoon, maybe the piccolo flute. That it will have. They will have solos, but the basses, they don't play a solo. The horn section neither. They are all complementary instruments. Well, it is. The whole orchestra is one. If the bassist wanted to be shining solo, then he would be playing jazz, maybe. And also there, he takes a back seat. But in a jazz quartet, say, typical trio, piano, drums, bass, there he can shine. And he better be shining because he is very important. I mean, bass is always important, maybe most important. But the orchestra is not about people doing solo virtuoso stuff. It is about a whole musical landscape all at once. 100 people coming together to express one idea. That's a different scenario. It's a different purpose. That's also why there is orchestra seating. Typically, for the most part, this is also pretty much how many symphony orchestras will be seated. First violins are always sitting left on the stage. Basses are usually always on the right-hand side. Then piano is kind of in the middle here. Then where the cymbal is the conductor. Sometimes you have a soloist that is near here. Horns, harp and celeste, percussions, timpani and whatnot, tuned percussions. brass. It is it's a different thing for it is not to be a solo virtuoso person. I do believe that is also the reason, probably, as how many different ideas can happen all at the same time. Often an orchestra, why it could even function and not just be noise, is very often many voices will move in unison, or various sections will move in unison, doubling one another. Maybe say you have, and also take it with a grain of salt. I'm not the authority on orchestral music, but just let's think about it from a compositional point. If I play piano solo, I can do pretty much whatever. When I'm trying to apply my piano playing to a string section, it becomes chaos quickly. If I play one note, I would get 16 players to play that note. You know what I mean? So, as there is so many different elements, every element needs to do less so they can still have that synergy and become one. Otherwise, it would be way too convoluted. Let's say you have all the strings play maybe one line, whatever that may be. Maybe the whole strings all together, respectively to the register, they will play. Now, well, this was the basis. It was not best example. But let's say they all pretty much play this melody. Let's say they all move like C. And that's pretty much walking the circle of fifths. Like we start on C, we go up a fourth, we get down a fifth, we go up a fourth, we go down a fifth. The last one was not a perfect fifth, but thinking of it coming from C minor, it was a generic fifth, so to speak. And probably we all have heard cadences and melodies a gazillion time that move exactly that like that, because it is just functional harmony that pretty much just works out. Well, I'm not quite sure if I get the question right. They do play one note basically, and that's why that can happen. Like, just really let's think about the player count. 16 first violins. Then usually you have a -2 number of players in the next section. 16 people playing, then 14 people playing, then 12 people playing, then 10 people playing, then 8 people playing. Like, I'm slow at the moment. Let's sum these, just the string section, like 16 plus 14 plus 12 plus 10 plus 8. That cannot be. I must have made a mistake somewhere, because I know this number must be bigger. Like, seriously. 16 plus 14 plus 12 plus 10. We already have 60 players. That is just the string section. I don't know exactly the count for, I mean, and it also will depend on ensemble, but they all do their part. And I'm not 100% sure if it is necessarily really only a monophonic instrument. I think you could probably actually play a polyphone on strings. You have three strings, right? But then again, I'm not a classically trained person from a conservatory. I'm a self-taught, self-acclaimed jazz pianist, aka I noodle the keys a lot. And I believe while I do start to connect some dots, I may not be qualified to speak about how an orchestra works and why. But say, if I wanted to transfer, because I was making the mental note to myself to get better at orchestral writing, I will start writing my idea on piano, and then I will try to transfer whatever I did on the piano to the range of instruments. And say I play a bass note, then I will start out putting that bass note to the basses. If I have something mid-rangey, I'll let the cello do that. If I have something unison, just means that the players are playing one note or the same note. Say I have trumpets, they play a C. I have horns, they play that C too. It's they're doubling the same note material. To me, that is unison. They play the same note at the same time. Like if I would be doing an invention with the hands. These hands are playing in unison. We can consider my left hand to be cello, and my right hand could be first violins. Same note material, same time. That's how I understand unison. I'm not very experienced writing orchestral music. Yeah, different registers. Or we could also think about it harmonically. For instance, let's say we want to have our orchestra play a C major triad or whatever. Then we could also distribute these individual voices over to various instruments, and everyone gets a piece of it. Maybe we'll let the root note. Exactly. One, there is a range of what it is physically possible for the instrument to actually cover. If it's a super small instrument, then it can only do higher frequencies. If it's a huge double bass, it can, of course, cover much lower of a range and stuff in the middle. But apart from what it can actually replicate at the maximum of the range, be it high or low, arguably it probably plays best somewhere in the middle between those extremes. Every instrument has a sweet spot. And also, I think orchestral music, I'm just starting to learn more about it. First, this is a free library. Then I'm highly inexperienced. There's a whole lot of magic and wisdom to kind of make somewhat, and I mean really somewhat, convincing mock-up. If you compare what you can do in the box with how a real orchestra sounds, with real masterful musicians, every single one, think about that. Just the strings, 16 first violins. Just think about the collective years of dedication of an entire orchestra. Let's say the average player is 30. Let's be cliche. They probably started playing the instrument maybe at 6, maybe at 10 at the latest. If it's a very prestigious orchestra, they have been kind of, they were born with the instruments, or they have been forced by their parents. Long story short, these are highly trained individuals, and they are not playing solo. Here are 16 violins, then 14, 12 violas. Every one of them has an enormous amount of training for years and years. These people are freaks. They are basically a musical army. Unfortunately, I forgot who said that. It's not my own phrasing, but I thought that is the best way to look at it. A symphony orchestra is a fucking musical army. They are straight up killers. They don't play around. You know what I mean? They might be playing music, but they ain't playing. They do this for life. And why an orchestra sounds so good? It is so difficult to have great libraries. This is a free library, and it's okay for what it is. But the richness in timbre and tone, how huge are good orchestral libraries? They are huge. If you're thinking like pro libraries from Spitfire or orchestral tools, they're thousands of gigabytes big. This entire free library is not even 6 gigabyte big. And all the round robin in the world can make it feel like the real thing. It can be good enough. Yeah, I would say to approximate it, because I have a physical upright piano here in my back. And while it is not that tuned super great, and it's not an instrument that's even close to the virtual model of the C7, it does sound better because it is 100%. This is a very well-made piano library, and I love the sound of it. But still, my little upright that sits in this room and that needs some tuning, that sounds better because it is not just a few samples, it is all of the whole shebang. Yeah, at least it is a lot of microphones and it's a whole lot of samples in so many ways. And yeah, it's ridiculous. And then we didn't talk about expression and like we could be here for hours. And I'm really not the guy that should be speaking about orchestral music. If you're super interested into orchestral music, if you catch me next time, let me know. Then I have to think about a couple of channels that I would want to link to you of people who are actually making a living writing orchestral music. Because I don't even make a living with the music that I write for myself, you know? I still have to figure that one out. Like that upright right there sounds so much better. Yeah, that is. Mm, I don't know. I tried Piano Tech. It's also good. I think I do prefer Keyscape better though. The reason why Piano Tech is not taking as much gigabytes, it is not sampled. It's physical modeling. It does not need samples like that. It generates the sound. And also, Keyscape is not just this piano. Keyscape is a whole bunch of instruments. Like it could be. No, I have to. I have to smoke. Maybe I don't need to say that on stream. Yeah, I kind of never really touch much in Keyscape itself. The only thing I do is I pick my voice and I turn off reverb, and that's usually basically it. Then I do sound design afterwards, but I don't really fiddle a lot in here. Like think I never changed really a knob. The only thing that I usually do is I take off reverb because I don't want the internal reverb to be used because I'd rather use a sound effect. And you can see stuff. I forgot. But now I still gotta take a break and the time I should contemplate on whether I'm going to continue or if I try to go to bed. And probably I'll be playing some stupid game. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that online or not. I mean streaming. Long story short, my focus is shut. I need to hide in the kitchen for 5 minutes or so, and regroup with myself and see if this stream will continue or not. I'll leave you with the first violins though. Okay, let's mess with a regular synthesis thing for 5 minutes or so, and then I should probably sign off. The birds are chirping. I want a field recorder, but I'm fucking broke. I'm stupid. I need to find a way to make this happen. God damn it. Every time I hear the birds chirping, I think like, God, I would kill to have a good field recorder, or any field recorder, and capture some real world noises and implement them into music. And also I'm very interested into actually getting better at real sound design, because I kind of want to get into game audio, because I do intend at some point in my life to actually pay my rent with music or audio. I don't need to get rich, and I certainly don't want to be famous, but I don't want to do anything else. Unless I'm threatened by starvation or homelessness or something. Oof, I wouldn't know. Yeah, but like, okay, we can go back at this. This is not my composition. I'm learning the song, the very famous song, Chim Chimney, Chim Chim Chiri from Mary Poppins. This is where I'm taking this from. It seems like it's changing keys. That's what I thought first. It actually does not. It all comes off from the melodic minor in C. We can look at it for a second. So these are the changes. Hold up, let's go to piano. It's easier there. It seems to be changing key, but it does not. It is one key. It is all these chords. All these chords. Sorry, it's better this way. Sorry. C minor, G augmented, C flat augmented, and G augmented is the same. If we do inverted, it's the same thing. That's also where I saw there was a key change, but then I looked again and thought about it for a bit, because I was like, hey, how did they pull this off? How do they have this modal mixture of an F major and an F minor? Let's look at all the scales of C minor. We got C natural minor or Aeolian. This is just C minor. And then there's two other minor modes. We have the melodic and the harmonic. And if we look at the melodic, then we see how they made that F major chord happen. In the melodic minor, we are exchanging the fifth and the sixth scale degree and moving them up by half a step. So A flat becomes A and B flat becomes C flat. That is how we can make this chord happen without changing key. So this piece uses not just one scale, it uses different minor modes. It uses the natural minor, that's where we have the B flat, but it also uses the melodic minor. That's why we have an F major chord possible. It did not change key. They are just smart with it. And also they wrote it so goddamn beautiful and also simple. The voice leading on this is perfect. Let's double the melody note just an octave above, and then we can see how they just made a chromatic walk down. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They were just fucking smart. It seems like a key change or modal mixture, but they're just using the melodic minor. And in jazz, yes, jazz is basically a glorified scale exercise to some extent, if you want it to be. Like, there's one other very cool scale. Cordy has known. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It uses all the minor scales. Specifically, it uses the melodic minor. This is a C melodic minor scale. We got C1, D2, E flat 3, F is 4, G is 5, and then in comparison to the natural minor, Aeolian, the fifths and the sixths and the sevenths are raised by half a step. I always say fifths, I don't know why. So instead of these notes, let's move up a register. So this is C natural minor. And C melodic minor moves A flat and B flat up half a step. And typically also, this scale gets used a lot all the time. If you listen to classical music, there is kind of a convention. In an ascending passage, often the melodic minor gets used for one reason. Let's look again at the natural minor scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And from 7 we get back to the tonic. But compared to the major scale, the 7th note is just a half step below the leading tone. The melodic minor recreates that leading tone by shifting the 7th step up a half a step. So we have a minor second again. And that's why it feels like you just want to go there. It is just easier to go. It's hard to stop on the 7. We want that resolution. With the normal 7 of the natural minor, that pull for the leading tone is not as great or as strong. There's another scale that Cordy doesn't spell out right, and it's the diminished 6 or 6 diminished scale, and that is also coming off from the melodic minor, but it's an 8-tone scale. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, flat 6 or minor 6. That's the diminished 6, major 6, Don't worry about it. As long as your ears are good, then you're good. I think for the first 6, 7 years, I didn't bother with music theory either. But I'm pretty ambitious, and I mean, it's been about like 15 years now. I'm trying to teach myself jazz piano. So I kind of need to know some music theory. Otherwise, I'm up just lost. Let's look at this scale again. So we have just C minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. This is one scale. C Aeolian, C natural minor, same thing, different words. If you want to sound fancy at a jazz nerd or music nerd party, then you can say, by the way, the Aeolian mode. No, don't have to. Then there's two other minor modes. That is the harmonic one. That's a very cool minor mode. Also gets used all the time. I'm kind of sure you probably have heard motives like this a lot. Why it sounds so funky and exotic is that minor third in there. That's usually does not really happen in scales all that often. Pretty much, if you listen to Arabian Nights from Aladdin, they're just going up and down the melodic minor in I don't know, I think it was B flat or something. It's pretty funny when you find out stuff like that. They're really just going up and down the scale. The Arabian Nights, da da ba ba, da ba da ba, ba da ba ba, ba da ba da ba da ba da ba da. Anyway, let's get back to these minor modes. So we have natural minor. That's the natural. And then we have the harmonic that we just played, the Arabian Nights mode. And then we have the beautiful melodic one, where we usually just play it when we go from left to right. And when we come down, we play the natural minor again. So that would be... And my favorite scale of them all, the one scale to rule them all, is the Barry Harris scale, the diminished sixth scale, be it in major or minor. For minor, we are taking the melodic minor and adding the minor sixth to it, and we end up with an 8-tone scale. Chordy has no spelling for it. If it was major, then we would take C major, for instance. No, it sounds all weird, but there's not that many scales. Unless we think about them as harmonic equivalents, like we could call this note C sharp or D flat. Well, is this now C sharp major or is this D flat major? By that contemplation, there's more scales, but it is the same scale. It's just a different name. And also, not to break your brain, this is C major, right? If we use all those same notes, but redefine our harmonic center or tonic, if we play it from D to D, C major is just, or Ionian, is just the first mode of the major scale. If we play the same notes from D to D, we get the Dorian mode. If you want to, you can say that's a different scale, but we might call it mode. Or we just call it color, or we call it nothing. We don't need to call it anything. It's a big fucking semantic circle jerk. Don't get lost in there. As long as you recognize the different intervals and have good relative pitch, and you just feel what you feel, you're good to go. These names mean nothing. But let's get back still again to the diminished 6 in C minor. So we can play the diminished 6 from the melodic minor by adding the minor 6 or the diminished 6. So we have 8 notes. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, flat 6, 6, 7, and 1. Let's say we are trying to play a chord by skipping every other note in the scale. We got the 1, flat 3, 5, and 6. That's our first chord. Or maybe an octave lower. And if you want to have some fun, we just play the blues scale on top. And that's pretty much how they pulled that off with the song. They used the melodic minor and also the natural minor, and this is the one minor chord, and then it goes to the 5 chord. Like, I'm just giving every note in the scale kind of a number. Our tonic is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 minor 7, 1 minor, just not minor 7, just minor 1 chord. And it goes to 5 augmented. Again, this actually is G augmented. We just inverted it. If we move this down, we will find out that G augmented is basically the same thing as what? C flat augmented, or same as E flat augmented. It's all pretty much the same chord, just a different spelling. We are just inverting it. This is G major. This is G minor. This is G diminished. This is G major again. This is G augmented. If we invert it, we get C flat augmented. If we invert it, we get E flat augmented. Same, but different, but not really different. And if we look at these chords again, we can ignore the first 2 bars for now. We got what? We got C minor going to G augmented. We just play it inverted as C flat augmented. Now we go to C minor 7. And then we go to F. For a moment we thought, how did they change key? And then we contemplated and realized they did not change key. They are taking that from the melodic minor. That way we can build an F chord. And if we go back to the natural minor, then we can have our F minor chord. So, and they were super smart and slick about it. The voice leading is a chromatic line starting on C going down. Di ba ba da ba do be da. And that's pretty much 90% of the song. The only other kind of tricky thing, it is in 3/4. Jim Jiminy 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1. Yeah, we better play that. What did I play at my right? A diminished. That's not what it was. Not smart. Let's just play octaves in the right. Otherwise, it gets too complicated for me. I did not practice enough. And how does it continue? Then it goes to C minor, to G augmented. This time we play G augmented in root position. Then we go to C minor 7 in an inversion. Also, play the inversion game. If you play a chord, rearrange the notes. And then you will find out quick, there's not that many chords actually. At first it seems a little bit overwhelming, but the more often you do stuff like this is C major, this is C major, and this is C major, over time you'll realize there's actually not that many different chords, or on principle alone, just get good at hearing and feeling intervals. What does a minor second sound like? Just half a step, whole tone, minor third. Like if we are just looking at triads, there is not that many colors of chords. That's how I want to think about it. This is our first vanilla chord. We got C major, we got the root, we got a major third, and a perfect fifth. If we move the middle note down from a major third, half a step, we got a minor third, C minor triad. If we move the perfect fifths down to the tritone, we got a diminished chord. A diminished chord is symmetrical. It's just stacking minor thirds. This is a minor thirds from C to E flat, and from E flat to G flat, also a minor third. That's why diminished chords are so cool. Diminished chords have no end and no beginning. If we invert a diminished chord, it will always be spelled by its root note, unlike C major or any major triad. If we invert this C major triad, we got root, third, 5. Now we play third, 5, root. It's still called C major, but now there is a slash, and the slash just means E is the lowest note of our chord, or the major third is the root note in this chord voicing. If we invert it one more, we get what? We get C/G. The fifth is the root note of our major triad. All same but different. But with a diminished chord, that's why it's so magical, they are kind of by themselves, pretty much, they can live everywhere. You cannot really exactly say what keys they come from just by themselves. With a C major triad, there's a couple of guesses what scale this might be coming from. Well, C major is one, but there's more scales that could create a C major triad. But just looking at a C diminished chord, there would be, it's harder to tell. Also, let's invert this thing again. This is C diminished. Also, yeah, with triads, it's not as practical to say. We have to use another, we have to play a diminished 7, sorry. With diminished triads, the spelling still stays the same. If we park the C up an octave, it's still C diminished, but let's think about a diminished 7th chord. It gets its name from its root note. Okay, sorry. To recap, how many chords do we have? Major triad, minor triad, diminished triad. Let's go back to major. Let's raise the fifths up half a step. What else do we have? We have diminished 7 chord. Or how else could we look at it? Let's play C major triad and start at the octave and double the note. This is C major triad, just a root twice. Then just go always down a step. Now we have a C major 7 chord, because what? We're just giving these notes numbers. C is 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 1, 7, and so on. Triad, octave. Triad, major 7. Triad, flat 7 or dominant 7 or just C7. C major 6. Major chord with a major 6. Here is the inversion game especially funny because at first when we try to look at it from a linguistic point of view, we will be surprised to find out that if we invert this chord, we will get a minor 7 chord. Let's bring A down an octave. At the beginning, it seems this is not actually the same chord, but that's not true. It kind of is the same chord. But just looking at it by its name, the A minor and then major, that looks odd at first, but we have the exact same notes. In root position, we have a major triad and major 6. Let's invert it just the normal way. Let's play all inversions. Root position. First inversion. Now we have C major 6 over E. Let's invert it one more. We have a major 6 over G now. Let's invert it one more. And that's the one where at first it seems like, huh? How did it change from major to minor? It is just a word. But why also makes sense. Let's look at this chord. What's happening there? We got A, our root. Then we go up a minor third. That's where the minor comes from. And then we play a perfect fifth, from looking from A always. And then we play minor 7. And that's how we get the minor 7. And basically, these are all the kind of colors that we got. There's not that much. Major, minor, diminished, major 7, dominant 7, major 6, diminished. We could play also one more. Let's lower C to C flat. Oh, sorry, that was not smart. How did I want to do this? I just want to play a half diminished chord. What's wrong with my brain? That's better. What's up with a half diminished chord? A half diminished chord is a diminished chord plus what? A major third. And it's not fully diminished because a fully diminished chord is just intervals consisting out of minor third. From C to E flat, minor third. From E flat to G flat, minor third. From G flat to B flat, major third. And that's pretty much all the chords that we can have. And all the rest, if we start playing stuff that extends the octave, then we just keep counting, kind of. Like, say, this is C major 7. That just completes the octave. After the octave, which would be 8, D then would be what? 9. So this is a 9. If I played C sharp or D flat, it should be a flat 9, but it doesn't have a spelling. I don't know why. Probably because it's not that common. If I play C7 and now I'm playing either D or D flat, for D it will say it's C9, and if I play D flat, it says flat 9. And that's it. But that's a different tune. But again, this little thing, it all comes from the melodic minor. This is C minor, natural minor. Sorry, that sounded horrible. Then we have C harmonic. And then we have C melodic. And we usually play that going up and down. We play the natural minor. That makes for a good scale exercise and training for the ear. Also, I think it feels very good on the hands. And yeah, that's that. And if we try to play the chords that I've written here, oops, let's maybe we can make this bigger. Oh, it fits. It's not so tiny. C minor, G augmented, played as C flat augmented. Hey Sid, how you doing? We are back at the tune. I didn't find my exit. I should be sleeping. The birds are chirping. I know you're an early bird. I need to make that happen for me too. The morning is always special, especially if you can wake up very early, because as long as the world is still mostly sleeping, there's time to think uninterrupted. That's very valuable. Thank you, Sid. We have to thank Sherman and for having written this one. I think everybody loved this piece. And we are taking it super slow. We're not playing it any crazy, not crazy yet. We're just trying to get the gist of it. Earlier on stream, I played this on strings. That reminded me, didn't I just sample something of that into grain? Actually, I just wanted to do some granular synthesis. It was a fraction of this idea. And then I should really go off stream because these birds are chirping and it gets brighter and brighter. It's 5:30 almost. And today, I think it's going to be great weather. And I don't want to sleep past noon. But I think now I have to, otherwise I don't get enough sleep. Because I want to play basketball. And in general, cutting sleep is not that smart. Yep. Oh, yes, I have. Unfortunately. What am I waiting on this chord? I forgot where I wanted to go. So we are here, C minor, G augmented, C7. Oh yeah, okay. F, F minor, C minor. Is something wrong with my eyes? Or did I always read it wrong? I could have sworn there's a D chord here before. Then I'm glad that you didn't see the stream that I had last night at about this hour. I was playing video games. I don't know why. I mean, I know why. Sometimes I like to game, but I was playing first-person shooters. That was not peaceful, I'll tell you. But hold up. Did I read this wrong all the time? Let me see that again. It goes C minor, augmented, C minor 7, played as major 6 over G. Then we go to F. F minor, C minor, Oh, I always inserted one. And I was playing Counter-Strike. That was not peaceful either. And actually, I didn't just want to play. I was playing Half-Life 2 because I wanted to start working on improving sound design and also getting into game audio. And I thought I picked one of my favorite old school games, which is the Half-Life series, which is just a very well-made game. With lots of cool sounds. They have a great story. Everything is pretty amazing about that game. It's kind of like, it was going down memory lane, part-time having fun. I didn't get to the sound design, audio engineering part. I just played, and then it was so bright, and I was exhausted, and I had to go to bed. I should not try to repeat that today, but I think it was already happening. It's 5:30 now, goddammit. Let me do that again, though. Holy Christ, no, I can't do that no more. My body's not tolerating that. Ah, man, it's so good to be young, huh? I'm turning 40 in about a week or so. If I don't sleep for 24 hours, I'm just a shadow of myself. Thank you. No, that doesn't sound good. What do I want to do? C, G, 7, F, minor, minor, dominant, I'm missing a chord. I feel like I'm missing a chord, but it's not true. It's just what's written there. Is that right, though? I think I just have to listen to the rendition again. Let's do this again. Probably I'm just too tired. I should stop pretty soon. C minor, G augmented, C minor 7 as E flat major 6 over G. And we go to F major, F minor. Then we have what? C minor again, G dominant. Why does it feel that there's something missing? Damn, you tuned in 15 minutes too late. I was going through all the chords. Okay, let's do this. But then I really have to go to bed. Let's go to C. That's a major triad. We get whatever root. Then we go up 4 half steps, 4 major third. And then we add the perfect fifths. And that's our major triad. If we lower our middle note from major third to minor third, and then add the fifths, we get the minor chord. Now, from this minor chord, we can get to the diminished chord by lowering the fifths half a step. A diminished chord consists out of minor thirds. It is a special kind of minor chord, but it is also a minor chord. If we add another minor third, we get C diminished 7. If we were to go up to B flat, we get C minor 7 flat 5, or if we don't care to speak that many syllables, half diminished. Actually, I'm not quite sure on the syllable count though. But this would be a half diminished chord. Minor third, minor third. This is a diminished triad. If we add the minor 7 to it, then we have a half diminished chord. So, long story short, a major triad consists out of the root, a major third, and the fifths. A minor chord consists of the root, a minor third, and the fifths. A diminished chord is pretty much a minor chord, but instead of a perfect fifths, yes, it does not change in key. This is G major triad. Now this is G minor. And then what do we need to do? We need to lower the fifths of G half a step from D to the tritone. Or if we want to think about it differently, we started on G, we go a minor third, And from this minor third, we go another minor third. And if we go another minor third, we get G diminished 7. And if we feel like we don't get enough diminished chords, then we can go on and on and on and on. That was not right, and it was very audible. Okay, so let's do this on G. G major, root, major third, perfect fifths, minor third, G minor, lowering the fifths, diminished. Let's go back to G major. Let's do something else. Let's make the interval bigger and not smaller. Let's move the perfect fifths, D, up half a step while keeping the major third. This is G major, and this is G augmented. The interval gets augmented, enlarged. It's just some fancy words. Major, so we can basically note we have a major chord quality and a minor chord quality. The diminished chord is a version of a minor chord, while the augmented chord is a version of a major chord. I hope that made some sense. A dominant chord is, for instance, this G7 chord. It's also interesting because if we look at it, or if we break this chord up in two parts, what would it look like? And a dominant chord is kind of a modal mixture all by itself. Let's remove the top note. Now we have a G major triad. Let's bring back our minor 7. And now let's leave off the root. We got two chords in one, kind of. One part of a G dominant chord is a major triad, and another part of it is a diminished chord. So we have a major and a minor quality baked into one chord. Also, what is interesting to note is very often you will probably not play the fifths. Most of the time, the characteristic note to identify the chord quality is the major or minor third. The third is usually what colors a chord the most. If we leave out the fifths, this is still a dominant 7. So we can basically say the shell of a dominant chord is a root with a major third and a tritone. That's also a good way to think about chords, I think, to think of them as the sum of intervals. So we can say a major third plus a tritone makes up a dominant chord. Hope that helped somehow. But I'm still looking at something in the score that I overlooked. I think I overlooked. You're very welcome. So let me see this again. C minor, G, 7, F, minor, minor. I feel there's a chord missing. What's wrong with me? Let me play this through. This is too big. Okay, now we're here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I still feel there's something missing, but let's say that's right. What voicing is best? Need to do that again. Why am I stuck? I think I need to go down. I feel there's a chord missing. How would I apply this? Then it goes straight back to G dominant, but I, for some reason, always play this D chord, but it's not in here. And the first part it goes C minor, D, G, and here it goes C, G dominant, just going 1, 5, and not 2, 5, 1. The quintessential jazz cadence. That's where all that comes from. 2, 5, 1. D double. Yeah, it needs to go down. It would sound so weird going up. But to what inversion do I go? Do I go back to this one? I could. But it sounds odd. I feel like this one chord needs to be there. I have to find this out tomorrow when I have, well, I mean sometime today, but after I have slept definitely. I'm too tired to do this. I feel there's something missing. but I don't have to figure this out now. Also, I'm kind of sure this score, the sheet music is right, I think. I didn't pay attention the last 2 days, it seems. This chord is not happening on that other section. No, I was mistaken. I always played like, if we look at the second line, we have F minor, C, and then from C minor we go to D, and then we go to G dominant. And in this section, then I always want to play from C minor, and I've been playing a D minor chord, or believe I thought I would. Maybe I did the last 3 days, but I did not read right. I just did this out of habit, it seems, because I have spent so much time with the first couple of bars that I just did this by default, but it's not the way it's written, I guess. Not sure. I will have to find out tomorrow. But I think the notes are correct. My memory and my focus are not. Now we're here. Now we play C minor. Do we? No, I'm completely lost. Holy Christ, I can't read. I'm reading whatever I want. Oh my God. Let me do that quick again. Oh no, I'm stupid. Yeah, I certainly don't know how to read. I was here, now we're here. Let's do this again. Yeah, I'm too tired. D augmented, C minor. Oh. Yeah. And like I say, let's look at it. They have written this from the melodic minor in C. Okay, they use also the natural minor, but I will play the first 2 lines, and in my right hand I will only play an octave with the melody. And then one thing will become very obvious why it's so elegant. I mean, you have heard me say this now 20 times already. The whole melody is one chromatic walk down. Starting on C, it goes down. Sorry. But can we note about this? It goes dim ba dum ba di dum do da. It's just super easy, simple, nice, elegant voice leading. You cannot get tighter than going in half steps. Okay, hold up. Now we're here again. F, go down, C minor. I used to play this G, right? Maybe I play a different G. Yeah, I play this G maybe. Maybe that's better. But I still want to play that 1D chord. I want to play... For some reason, I keep playing this chord. It feels so natural. Because it happens before here. C minor, D, G. That sounds not good. I want to go and get a field recorder. For 2 weeks or so, I feel absolutely compelled to do some field recording for various reasons, but, well, sound and music doesn't get much better than the song of the birds. I want to play this chord so bad, but it's not there. Let's try to find a different version though. No, that's not cool. That's jumping around. That's not smooth. I sure say a lot. Yeah, it needs to be different voicing. That would be so boring to go back and forth between C minor and G dominant. If we just went back, this doesn't sound right. It is technically right, but it doesn't sound good. Okay, you guys, I wish you all a most wonderful day. Go catch some sunlight with your face. Happy practice and happy creating. May the muse be with you. Try to be good to yourself and others. Catch you later. Peace.